My career as a pianist or as a professional musician starts at a very early age. It starts at 8 years old when I became a singer in a professional choir in Germany. So I've played all over the world. I've performed for the Queen, all over Europe. The reason why I still play is not only because I need to create income. It is truly, I think I have something to share with people and make them feel good. My wife Sylvia has been diagnosed with Parkinson's about 12 years ago. And about 10 years ago, Sylvia already got to a point where she needed more or less consistent attention. And ever since I've been trying to do the work of a caregiver and my own work in order to try to create a livelihood for both of us here. Before she had Parkinson's, she was a very bubbly actual entertainer and quite good. The Parkinson's has brought with it a form of dementia that makes it very difficult for her to speak. A normal conversation with her at this time is very, very difficult to have because it doesn't connect anymore. It's been very burdensome to me to see my wife deteriorate to that point, and really heartbreaking.
Oxygen tank was over there, and the ventilator, and the pulse ox, and his medical supplies. As you can see, we still have quite a few even under the bed. Blake had a condition known as spinal muscular atrophy. Spinal muscular atrophy is a terminal type of muscular dystrophy. At this time, there's no cure, nor any treatments for SMA. The best that the hospital could do was offer to send Blake home on the ventilator for whatever period of time he had left. And we were led to believe that that would be a very short period of time. He was about 6 months old at that time when he was diagnosed. Little did we know that Blake would survive quite beyond that, and just recently passed at 7 years old. I also have thank God, two other children that are healthy. They're older, and I worked full-time with both of them when they were smaller, but with Blake, I didn't have that option. And at first I wondered, I thought like most people would, we cannot afford to do this. Who would take care of him? I naively thought that we would have full-time nursing. It took a while to build up a staff where we could get just regular rest, and that's always subject to change. For instance, if a nurse should call off, there's no substitute. You are the substitute. But I know the first year we had basically one nurse. Giving the benefit of the doubt, I'll say she was here twice a week, maybe for 8 to 10 hours a day. The rest of the time, it was just me and Blake. It was exhausting. It was the hardest job I've ever had. And it was the most joyful job I've ever had.
I don't want to say the word drain, but it's taken a lot of my energy away from what I do as a professional. And it's very difficult sometimes to get up my nerves and go and sit down and perform somewhere, because I keep thinking what is happening at home while I'm sitting there and playing.
I could not see myself. I could see Blake, but I really couldn't see myself. I didn't have time or luxury to focus on myself.
Very often, when you're a caregiver, there's a lot of fear involved, but also a lot of anger because we don't know what's coming.
There was a time we literally slept in our clothes because we had so many ER runs.
And so it's always I'm not quite sure, can I handle it, can I not handle it, so I'm always sort of, you know, in a nervous state about this.
As my pastor used to say, it's either going to make you bitter or better. And at some point, I made a conscious decision that I wanted to be better.
I don't quite remember how I heard about the Respite Coalition. I think it was through a friend.
It gave me hope just knowing that, okay, somebody else besides myself realizes that this is needed. That alone, you know, kind of gave me hope because I didn't know that there was anything like that out there.
Well, it's allowed me to either relax when I felt bad. It's helped me to go and practice if I wanted to, or go and make my recordings, or go shopping, or just, you know, do nothing, sit on the balcony and look at nature.
I remember one time my daughter was a cheerleader in high school. I'd only seen her cheer once prior to getting involved with Tennessee Respite Coalition. So one Friday night, we had a caregiver. My sister was able to come and watch Blake, and we went to her high school football game, and I saw her cheer, and I remember sitting in the stands crying because she had been cheering all year, you know, the whole season. I think that was probably a homecoming game, which is toward the end of the season. But I couldn't have done that without the help that we received from TRC.
I think that donating to TRC is a wonderful thing. I think it is necessary. I think people who have the means ought to care about other people out there that need help.
I would say to anyone that's thinking of donating their time or resources to the Tennessee Respite Coalition, please don't hesitate.
I thank the Maker for this opportunity, for the fact that you even are here. That I am not all alone and having to handle a situation like this all by myself, because I couldn't.
I'm very grateful, and I just encourage anyone, if you have resources, if you have time, this is the type of organization that you want to invest in.